Hey everybody, welcome back again. And today we're taking a look at another new figure that's just hitting doorsteps this week. And that is going to be X-Transbots MX45 Razor, which is their version of a G1 Constructicon Bonecrusher. So this figure comes on the heel of the previous 3 releases from X-Transbots, starting with Long Haul, Scrapper, and then Scavenger that came out just a couple months ago, actually. So this is the 4th figure in this pretty highly anticipated series. So far, I will say just from a personal perspective, I think these figures have been fantastic, all 4 of them so far. The bot modes are great. The alt modes are awesome. I think they're better than the Fans Choice versions. I can see kind of where these figures' combined modes are probably not going to stack up quite as well as the Fans Toys does, but I've said this in the previous reviews of these figures that I think Fans Toys is really going for the kill in terms of the combined mode of Devastator altogether. But really, the bot modes and the alt modes for these X-Transbots figures so far have been really outstanding and very authentic to the original G1 animation models. So without further ado, let's get into this and see what this figure's got with it. I got mine from Agabus, which as far as I can tell is one of the first, if not the first, US retailers to have this figure in stock. So I ordered, or actually pre-ordered mine, and it shipped about 5 days ago. It was right before the end of last week. I got mine today. Today's September 2nd, so I got it pretty quickly. They always ship super fast. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what we got. So looking at the packaging, it's very consistent with the previous 3 figures that we've gotten. This box is about the same size as the box that their Bonecrusher figure came in. Or not Bonecrusher, but their Scavenger figure, which was the Gravedigger titled figure. So let's go ahead and get this guy out of here. So on the front, we've got some really cool artwork that obviously kind of fits together with the other boxes. We've got a little mural. This looks like what it's going to be is the top of a tower crane when that whole mural is complete on this level. So we've got really good artwork there. And then on the side, we've got some more artwork with a quote. It says, demolish my bridges behind me, and there is no choice but forward. I have no idea what that's a reference to. The back has got the familiar artwork with the tech specs, and then the top, we've just got the title of the figure. And then on the inside of the box, we have got a collector's card. So really nice collector's card with some artwork there. And then we've got this 2-part packaging. So the first one is the plastic clamshell with the right arm of Devastator. Let's see. Is the right arm? No, the left arm. Bonecrusher is the left arm. Scavenger is the right arm. With some alternate heads and his gun. Let's take a look at these. So let's see if we can zoom in on these while they're still in the tray. So some really nice head sculpts with different expressions. And then his pistol. 2 additional heads. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember offhand what this is a reference to. I'm sure this is something from the original cartoon, but I just honestly can't recall it, what it is. And then we've got the arm and then the mounting part to attach the arm in combined mode. And then we've got his trumpet. Again, it's nice that they added this. It's not metal like the Fans Toys version is, but still a very nice addition. And then we've got our styrofoam clamshell here with the figure. And so right out of the packaging, there's obviously a little bit that needs to be done here. So his feet, this is very similar to how their scavenger figure was. You need to drop this down. Like this. Like that to get the feet. And then another thing to remember, just like the scavenger figure, there's these plates that are behind the knees on each side of the figure. You're going to want to bend that down in bot mode, because otherwise if you try to bend it, you're going to break this part. But that is what releases to be able to bend him at the knee. So again, just this plastic part here that needs to bend down. So looking at the figure, I have to say, really fantastic looking figure. They've done a good job here. This is always, I think, kind of a tricky figure to do in terms of that front bucket and being able to get it in the right proportions and how it folds up on the chest of the figure and not look really weird. So if anybody's seen, for example, the Hasbro version, the Studio 86 version of Bonecrusher, it just looks really awkward how they did it. And it is a very difficult piece to make it look like it really belongs there and look good in bot mode. But just looking at him, he looks fantastic. Again, the scavenger figure looked really good. I would say really this one is better looking than the scavenger and might be actually my second favorite figure just in appearance behind the scrapper figure. So he's really good looking. Let's take a look at articulation. So on the head, we've got 360 all the way around. It doesn't look, well, there's a little bit of down, and then there's a little bit of up. And then on the shoulders, we've got all the way around on the shoulders. We get the arm all the way up. We do have a little bit of a butterfly, so that's really good. On the elbows, so we've got, we do get better than 90 degree at the elbows, so it looks like that's probably part of the transformation there where that folds back in on itself. At the wrist, we've got all the way around on the wrist, and then we've got the familiar finger articulation that's kind of standard with the X-Transbots figures. We've got the index finger on its own pin. It's jointed at the knuckle. And then we've got the other three fingers that are jointed at the knuckle as well. And then the thumb, we get a joint at the base of the thumb that slides back and forth, and then 2 points of articulation on the thumb. Then we go to the waist. We've got waist all the way around. We do have a really nice ab crunch. And it looks really nice there. It doesn't really break the mold like a lot of figures do when you, or break the sculpt, I'm sorry, when you do the ab crunch, but that looks really nice. And one thing I want to mention here, this piece right here is actually die cast. So that front loading bucket is die cast. And then at the hips, we've got these front hip skirts. There's no hip skirts in the back, but the legs go up and then go back about that far, and then they're impeded by this back fixed hip skirt right here. And then the legs go almost all the way out, but they're a little bit impinged when you get right here. These treads kind of collide with the top of that joint right there. So you get about, I would say, 85 or so degrees up. And then the knees, we kind of already looked at this a little bit, but you get better than 90 degrees, double jointed at the knee. And the feet, we do get an ankle tilt. and we get kind of a toe up and a toe down. So very nice articulation here. Let's take a look at him. Let's just put him next to a couple of the other figures. So here we've got him next to their scavenger figures. You can see they look really good next to each other. These are kind of the mold mates of the set, but I'm really impressed with how different they are up top. The legs obviously are very similar, but really that's where the similarities end. The hips are totally different. The chest and obviously the arms are totally different. So they could have skimped out and really used a lot more similarity in the engineering and the molding, but they didn't. So it's really, really good looking there. And then let's bring him in next to the scrapper figure. And so we've got that. So these guys look really good to each other. I would put them in with the long haul figure, but he's actually boxed up right now. Yeah, they look really good. This figure, I have to say, probably next to the scrapper might be my second favorite. So far I would think my ranking is probably the scrapper, the Bonecrusher, the scavenger, and then the long haul. But I only say that on the long haul because I have the toy version, so it doesn't have quite the nice deco that the Toon version that is out has. So yeah, just a really, really good looking figure. They continue to excel with these figures. It's just a really fantastic looking figure. And I honestly don't see how Fans Toys will be able to, engineer their version of Bonecrusher when it becomes available to look as good as this does in bot mode. Their figures so far in bot mode have just been really kind of awkward. They're ill-proportioned. They just don't look right. But again, we know that they're going for the combined mode kill on that. So I'm going to try to get this guy transformed, and we'll take a look at him in his alt mode and see what we've got there. All right, so here he is in alt mode, and that was a little bit of a complex transformation. It was a bit more complex than the Gravedigger figure was, and I still don't think I have everything totally right. There's still a little bit of some gaps in some of these panels here, so I'm going to have to kind of figure out how to close that up a little bit. But in alt mode, he looks really good. You know, he looks like the original Bonecrusher. A pretty plain bulldozer, but yeah, there he goes. So, really nice alt mode, really nice bot mode. Bot mode is obviously where he shines, and yeah, that's where we go. So next, let's take a look at him in his combined mode and see how he looks there. All right, so a fairly simple combined mode transformation for him. Still think I don't have everything perfect here. So there he goes in his combined form. So you can see pretty long arm. This figure is going to be a monster once it's all complete. So looking a little bit at the articulation of the arm, so we're going to have a little bit more than a 90-degree bend at the elbow there. The fingers very similar, well, identical, just in reverse to the Gravedigger Scavenger hand. So we've got some really nice articulation in the fingers. We can get the fingers splayed. The thumb, we've got multiple joints there. Not quite as nice as the hand sculpt on the Fans Toys version, but it'll do. And then here's where he's going to hook, ironically enough. One thing to note here, these joints are super tight, and if you saw in the video, I had to do a little bit of manipulation of this. It was kind of bent in the opposite way, so I had to fold it back around to get it on there. But he's going to have some shoulder up, obviously. Obviously, there's going to be some limit there just based on the bucket here, but you'll be able to bring the shoulder out a little bit. Remains to be seen if there's going to be a butterfly joint, so that would obviously have to be a part of the hook figure to be able to facilitate that butterfly joint, because it does not exist in this part here. So definitely a really good looking figure. As I said, it's good looking in all three modes. Not quite as good looking in the arm mode as the Fans Toys I expect to be. But again, we go into this knowing that they're really going for the look of the overall combined Devastator. So again, really good figure. I highly recommend it. It'll be a nice addition to the collection, very faithful to the cartoon, faithful to the toys as well that we remember from the 80s. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. And if you like this, please like, please subscribe, and I'll keep doing these. Thanks.